Olive was in a large white room, sitting at a desk. There was a strange machine in front of her. It had lots of metal keys and a sheet of paper poking out of the top. All around her were monkeys sitting in front of similar machines and tapping away at the keys.
Oh, what's going on here?
Said Olive rather loudly.
Shh! Why aren't you typing?
Whispered the monkey next to Olive.
Sorry, I'm Olive. What's typing?
I'm Cornelius. Typing is what we're doing on these typewriters.
I don't really know what to type.
It doesn't matter. Just make sure you're typing when he gets...
Monkey with the feathers, why aren't you typing?
Olive saw a rhinoceros striding towards her.
But what do you want me to type, Doctor?
The name's Dr. Horner, and I don't really give a monkeys what you type. Just get typing.
Cake, okay.
A flustered Olive quickly began to type. Dr. Horner walked out through a door, locking it behind him.
Why are you all locked up in here?
Dr. Horner says we're taking part in an important literature research project, so it's vital we all keep typing. I'm typing a story about a wizard monkey. Carlton here is writing a book about monkeys in space, and Lucius over there writes monkey poetry. We all want to escape and get our stories published. I'd love to see my book in a bookshop, but as long as we're trapped in here, it's hopeless.
Sighed Carlton sadly. Olive looked up. High above her was an open window in the ceiling.
A high-up window, lots of typewriters. I think I may have an idea.
Olive collected up all the typewriters and began to stack them on top of each other until a tower of typewriters rose up to the window.
OK, now all we need to do is climb this tower and we can escape.
The tower creaked and wobbled.
I don't know. It doesn't look very safe to me, Olive.
Well, it's the only way out. We'll just have to be extra careful. I'll go first.
Olive cautiously began to climb the teetering tower of typewriters, and all the monkeys followed. But as she reached the top, the tower started to really wobble.
Perhaps this wasn't such a good idea after all.
No, maybe we should all climb down before it falls.
Suddenly, the door swung open and Dr. Horner strode back in, his face red with anger.
What's this? An escape attempt?
Just then, the tower of typewriters finally toppled.
Cake! Quick, everyone! Join on!
Olive grabbed the window frame with one wing and Cornelius's hand with the other. All the monkeys joined together just in time as the typewriters crashed to the ground. Olive jumped out of the window and started to pull up the monkeys, but Dr. Horner grabbed hold of Carlton's tail.
Ha-ha! There's no escape!
Tickle him, Carlton!
Shouted Olive. Carlton gave Dr. Horner a good tickling. And he let go of Carlton's tail. Olive quickly pulled them up and they all escaped. The monkeys were so pleased to be free at last, they all leapt around and chattered with joy.
Thanks so much for helping us escape, Olive. We're off to the big city to get our stories published. I plan to be the next J.K. Simeon.
Good luck. And make sure you all keep writing. No time for monkeying around.
They all laughed. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again,
said her mum.
Cake? Actually, I've been helping some typing monkeys escape.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear,
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself in a busy city street, surrounded by really tall buildings. There were stalls nearby, selling balloon animals and hot dogs to passers-by. Olive was wearing a yellow hard hat and was holding a box with 2 buttons on it.
Cake, I wonder what this big button's for.
Press it, please.
Who said that?
The name's Clive. Now please press the button and get me down.
No problem, Clive.
No sooner had she pressed the big button than a window cleaner's platform, lined with buckets of water and brushes, clattered down the side of the nearest building to the ground. On it was a very scared-looking walrus.
Hello there, I'm Olive.
Hello. Am I down yet, Olive?
Down? I don't think you were ever really up.
Chuckled Olive as Clive joined her on the pavement.
Oh, I'm keeping my flippers firmly on the ground from now on. I'm no good at cleaning windows so high up.
Olive looked up at the tall building's very dirty windows.
So I could see Clive.
This isn't my usual job, you see. I normally sell balloon animals for my stall over there, but I promised the window cleaner I'd do his job when he's on holiday. Now it looks like I won't be able to keep my promise. Can you help me at all?
I suppose cleaning windows can't be that hard, can it?
Olive stepped onto the window cleaning platform. Clive pushed the button and the platform started to move up into the air, past one window, then another and another.
Not so fast, it's getting a bit wobbly up here. Wow! Peg, get me down, Clive, please.
Clive pushed the other button and soon Olive was safely back on the ground.
Oh, thanks for trying, Olive. I guess we'll never get those windows clean.
Olive looked over at Clive's balloon stall and then the one selling hot dogs.
Balloon animals, hot dog buns, buckets of water. I think I may have an idea.
Olive attached the buckets of water to balloon animals from Clive's stall. First an elephant, then a giraffe, a balloon fish and a whale, and even an ostrich. Soon there was a whole zoo floating up the side of the building, with buckets of soapy water dangling below them.
Quick, Clive, can you make me a huge catapult from some balloons?
One catapult coming up.
As Clive twisted the squeaky balloons into a catapult, Olive ran over to the hot dog stall.
One huge bag of hot dog buns, please.
There you go.
Olive placed a hot dog bun into the balloon catapult, took aim and... ping! The bun flew through the air, past the dirty windows, before popping the balloon elephant. The bucket of soapy water spilt over the side of the tall building as it fell, washing the dirt from the windows to reveal the happy, waving people inside.
It worked.
Olive sent more buns catapulting up towards the balloon animals. Bang! Pop! Each bucket spilled their water and soon all the windows were sparkling clean.
Oh, thank you, Olive. I'm so glad to have kept the promise I made to my friend.
No problem, Clive. I never realised cleaning windows could be such fun.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I helped a walrus wash windows.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing outside a huge supermarket.
Oh.
By the door stood a little man in a uniform.
Heck, this place is enormous.
Course it is. It's a supermassive megamart.
Said the little man.
I'm the security guard and I've got my beady eye on you, bird, so no funny business, OK?
Absolutely.
Exclaimed Olive as the guard stomped off.
Oh, we'll never manage it all in time.
Olive turned to see a little old lady leaning on a walking stick. With her was a boy on a bike holding a long list.
Hello, I'm Olive. Can I help?
I'm Bradley, and this is my grandma Doris. It's my sister's birthday today, and we have all this shopping to buy for her party later on.
That is a lot of shopping.
Yes, it's a huge store, and I can't walk fast with my stick. We'll never get everything in time.
Olive spied a supermarket trolley and a pick and mix stall, which had all sorts of sweets, including long black licorice.
A supermarket trolley, a bike, some licorice. I think I may have an idea. Doris, can you buy some licorice, please?
OK, dear. Cool, I love licorice.
It's not for eating, Bradley. Wait and see.
Olive tied one end of the licorice to Bradley's bike and the other to one of the supermarket trolleys.
Doris, get in the trolley with me, please, and hold on tight. Bradley, get on your bike.
OK.
Bradley started pedalling and pulled the trolley into the store.
Right, Gran, where to first? Ice cream.
Bradley pedalled them down the aisle until they found the ice cream. Doris and Olive grabbed some and they continued to zoom around the store, picking out the things they needed as they passed. Crisps, fruit, drink, bread and various tasty sandwich fillings. In no time at all, they had almost everything on the shopping list. Bradley turned into the next aisle, but there was the security guard blocking his path.
Oh, no, no, no. Bikes are strictly banned.
Bradley spun his bike around and zoomed off.
Can't catch us!
Oi, come back here!
Ooh, birthday cake. Now we have everything for the party.
Stop, Bradley, stop!
But Bradley wasn't listening and took another sharp corner. The licorice got caught on some prickly pineapples and snapped, sending Olive and Doris swerving into a tower of baked bean tins.
Oh!
They crashed into the beans. Olive, Doris and the shopping went flying through the air, falling onto one of the checkout conveyor belts. They landed next to it just as the security guard caught up.
Right, where's that boy on the bike?
You mean that boy out there?
Olive pointed through the window at Bradley, who was now outside chewing on a piece of licorice.
Kids today, nothing but trouble. Same goes for birds.
The security guard wandered off, grumbling. Doris paid for all the shopping and they joined Bradley outside.
Thanks for all your help, Olive.
You're welcome. I hope your sister's birthday party goes well.
Hey, would you like to come along?
I'd love to, but all that shopping's really tired me out. But I'm sure it'll be a super massive mega party.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been to the super massive mega mart.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself in a city surrounded by beautiful buildings. Instead of roads, there were canals filled with water.
Oh, it's going to be hard to explore without getting my feet wet.
Olive heard an odd wailing sound.
Stand front.
Who's making that dreadful racket?
A man wearing a stripy top and a straw hat was rowing along and making the racket. He was trying to sing.
Oh, sole mio. That must be the worst tour of Venice ever. Well, this silly gondola was your choice. Oh, so it's my fault.
Excuse me, was there a problem with your boat trip?
I'll say that gondolier has the worst voice I've ever heard.
The couple stomped off, leaving a very sad-looking gondolier.
Hello, I'm Olive. Can I help at all?
Oh, ciao, Olive. I'm Domino Flamingo, gondolier. It is traditional for gondoliers to sing as we row people around the canals of Venice, but I have a terrible singing voice. Oh, sole mio. Soon I will have no customers at all.
Well, I'd love to take a tour with you.
You are very kind, but no, my singing will only upset you. I've had enough for today.
As Olive walked away, she wondered if there was a way she could help Domino. But Olive's stroll was soon interrupted.
What the heck? What's the parrot doing here? What's the parrot doing here?
It's for sale.
Came a whispered voice from a window above the street.
That bird drives me crazy. It copies every sound it hears. Woof, woof.
The parrot certainly seemed good at copying sounds.
A gondolier with a terrible singing voice, a parrot that can copy any sound. I think I may have an idea.
Olive bought the parrot from its unhappy owner, then put a cover over the cage.
Just to stop you from getting too hot.
She hurried back to the jetty where Domino was waiting.
Domino, can you please take me somewhere where I can hear some singing?
See, I can take you to the opera house.
So Domino rowed Olive to the opera house. At a balcony, they could see an opera singer practicing.
O sole mio, stand frontia te.
Oh, I wish I could sing like that.
That's the plan.
As Domino rode away from the opera house, he was surprised as the beautiful singing continued.
Impossible. Who sings so beautifully?
Olive showed Domino the parrot.
This parrot can perch behind you and do all the singing. You just need to row and pretend to be the singer.
Oh, bravo, Olive.
Bravo, Olive!
All of Domino's customers loved what they thought was him singing to them.
Oh, sole mio.
Oh, thank you, Olive, for saving my career as a gondolier. Would you like to stay and become a gondolier too?
I don't think so. I find all this gondoliering a bit repetitive. I find all this gondoliering a bit repetitive.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
But Gek, actually, I helped a gondolier find a singing voice.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing in a long, thin room with lots of windows and seats down either side. She was wearing a rather smart blue dress and hat. There was a lady dressed the same as Olive standing between the rows of seats.
Hello, I'm Olive.
Hello, I'm Daisy. You must be the new flight attendant.
Flight 321 to Paradise Island. Passengers should board in 3, 2, 1.
A tannoy announced. Olive had to jump out of the way as a stampede of passengers rushed to their seats.
Hey, watch out!
The plane took off straight away.
Being a flight attendant is easy.
Said Daisy.
All you have to do is make sure the passengers are happy and they get their dinner on time.
Oh, that does sound pretty easy.
Said Olive. Daisy unbuckled her belt and reached under the seat, pulling out a box of eye masks, which she dumped in Olive's wings.
Right, first task is to pass around these eye masks.
Olive gave an eye mask to each passenger.
Good job, Olive.
Said Daisy. It was almost time for dinner. The smell of the food was wafting out of the kitchen, making the passengers hungry.
Is dinner ready? I'm hungry.
Called a man.
My tummy's rumbling really badly.
Whined a little girl.
What happens if the passengers don't get the dinner?
Asked Olive. Daisy frowned.
They get unhappy, and we don't want unhappy passengers. Right, Olive. Dinner trolleys are ready to go. We just have to push them down the aisle so we can give the passengers their dinner trays.
Olive jumped behind the trolley and pushed hard. The trolley jerked forward for a moment, but then it stopped.
It looks like I'm stuck.
Cried Olive.
The wheels must have jammed. Oh, how are we going to get the dinners to the passengers now?
We're getting very unhappy. Yes, very unhappy.
What's the
problem?
Shouted the passengers.
Olive, what are we going to do?
Olive scratched her beak and looked around. At her feet was one of the eye masks. She picked it up and looked down the aisle, where she spotted coat hooks above every single seat.
A line of coat hooks, eye masks. I think I may have an idea.
Olive tied together lots and lots of eye masks. She then looped them over the coat hooks and got the passengers to do the same all the way down the plane.
Right, Daisy. We need to tie the dinner trays to the eye masks.
Olive tugged on the eye masks and the dinner trays started travelling along the plane down to the passengers. Then the trays dropped in front of each passenger one by one. The whole plane load of people cheered before they tucked into their dinners.
Good job, Olive.
Said Daisy.
The passengers would have been lost without you.
I don't know about lost, but they certainly would have been hungry.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Gek, actually, I've been an air hostess in an aeroplane.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing in the middle of a huge cornfield and had a piece of straw in her beak.
Gek.
Said Olive, spitting it out.
Hey, I must be in the country.
Who are?
Said a voice. Olive turned around to see a man made completely out of straw.
Hello there, I'm Scully the Scarecrow.
Hello, I'm Olive. What are you doing all alone in the middle of this cornfield?
I'm here to scare off all the birds so they don't eat the corn.
Said Scully sadly.
Why are you so sad about it? Looks to me like you're doing an excellent job.
Problem is, I love to spot birds and write them down in my notebook here. But because I'm a scarecrow, I scare them all away so I never spot any.
But I'm a bird. I'm an ostrich. And I don't think you're scary, Scully.
Oh, so you are. Well, I've not spotted an ostrich before. I'd love to spot some other birds too. If I could spot 10 more today, I'd be such a happy scarecrow.
The birds are scared off when they see you, Scully. So we need to hide you from the birds in some way.
Olive looked around her. There were lots of pieces of corn lying on the ground.
Lots of corn. A scarecrow to hide. I think I may have an idea.
Olive gathered up all the corn and started sticking it all over Scully and also all over her own feathers until they were both completely covered in corn.
How's this going to help me spot birds?
Scully asked.
Watch and see.
Olive and Scully walked across the cornfield until they reached a large oak tree. A little blue bird flew down and landed on one of the branches.
Oh, our blue tit!
Exclaimed Scully, writing it down in his notebook.
One bird spotted.
Said Olive.
You see, it's working. The blue tit wasn't scared of you.
This is great.
Olive and Scully walked past a hedge at the side of the field. Two birds flew down and landed on the hedge.
That's a robin and that's a blackbird.
Said Scully, writing them down too.
2 and 3 birds spotted.
As they walked down the path, they reached a farmer's tractor sitting in the field. 3 birds flew down and landed on the tractor.
Chaffinch, sparrow, pigeon.
Cried Scully as he wrote.
4, 5, 6 birds spotted.
Then they walked down past the barn, and as they did, 4 more birds landed on the barn's roof right above them.
Crow, jackdaw, dove, magpie.
Said Scully, scribbling in his notebook.
7, 8, 9, 10 birds spotted.
Cried Olive.
Oh, thanks, Olive. With this corn disguise, I've managed to spot 10 birds today.
Olive and Scully walked back into the middle of the cornfield. But something very odd was happening. All the birds Scully had spotted were flying around above them. Then they all landed on Olive and Scully and began to eat the corn.
No, they're eating our disguises.
Soon the hungry birds had eaten away all the corn.
I suppose you're going to get scared and fly away now.
But the birds didn't move.
We're not scared of you anymore. You've given us all this nice corn to eat, so we know you're friendly.
Chirped the little robin.
Oh, now I can spot birds all day, every day.
Maybe you should call yourself Scully, the not scary crow.
Chuckled Olive. They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been helping a scarecrow spot birds.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing in a park surrounded by tall buildings with lots of windows. Nearby, there were some kids riding about on BMX bikes.
Oh, these buildings look very tall.
She was wearing a blue hooded tracksuit and shiny silver trainers.
Your nice hoodie.
Said a voice. Olive turned around and saw two boys. They wore blue tracksuits and silver trainers, like hers.
Yo! Hello, I'm Olive.
Yo, Olive, I'm Ash. This is Sam. We're two of the super fast feet crew, the flyest dance crew around.
Oh, what sort of dancing do you do?
Street dancing, and we're competing in a big competition today.
Problem is, our flipper Darren is stuck in a traffic jam. Without him, we can't do our routine, so if he doesn't make it in time, we can't enter.
What does a flipper do?
We'll show you.
Sam pulled out his phone and hit a button to play a video. It was the super fast feet crew performing a routine.
That's Darren in the middle. He's about to flip. Hey, oh, yeah. Hey! Yo, Olive, you're wearing a hoodie and trainers just like ours. Maybe you could be our flipper for the competition.
Well, I'd be happy to try, but flipping looks really difficult.
It's not easy. You need to be able to jump really high.
Olive looked around and noticed that the kids with their BMX bikes were doing some impressive tricks and jumps. But one boy had a puncture and was pumping up his tyre.
A bicycle pump. Trainers? I think I may have an idea.
Olive walked over to talk to the boys.
Excuse me, can I borrow your bike pump, please?
Yeah, sure.
Olive stuck the end of the bicycle pump into the sole of her silver trainer and began to pump. The shoe started to inflate. She did the same to the other one until she had created a pair of super bouncy super trainers.
Ooh, okay. I'm very tall.
Try a flip.
Suggested Ash. Olive started to bounce higher and higher, and then she did a double backflip.
That was tight.
It certainly was.
Let's go, Olive. The competition starts soon.
Darren was still stuck in traffic, so Olive performed with the super fast feet crew. The routine was going really well, and Olive did some amazing flips, bouncing on her super trainers. Soon, it was time for the big finish, a quadruple backflip from Olive. She bounced higher and higher and then straight into the flip. But Olive had flipped too high. She lost control and couldn't stop flipping. Just then, Darren arrived. He rushed into the arena and saw Olive somersaulting through space. Darren ran over, did a massive forward flip and caught Olive mid-air. They both landed back on the ground between Ash and Sam, and the audience went wild.
Yo, Olive, that was amazing.
Olive's final flip was so spectacular, it helped the super fast feet crew to win first prize.
Yo, thanks for standing in for me, Olive.
Said Darren.
Yo, it was no problem.
Said Olive.
I was one super flying ostrich.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been dancing and flipping with a street dance crew.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was under a table. She could just see a little man wearing checked trousers shuffling around and could hear pots and pans banging about.
Okay, I think I'm in the kitchen.
Olive jumped out to say hello.
Hello?
Said Olive a bit too loudly. The little man jumped and spilled all the flour he had in his mixing bowl onto the floor.
Oh, hey, you made me a jump, and now my pizza mix is ruined.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. My name is Luigi, and this is my famous pizza restaurant.
I'm Olive. You seem really busy.
Today is a very special day. It's the pizza competition. I must win it again this year, and the judges will be here soon.
Maybe I could help you make the pizza.
Si, great idea, Olive.
Olive and Luigi got to work.
Like this.
Luigi showed her how to whirl the pizza in the air to make it big and round. It was going well until Olive lost control of the whirling pizza and it shot across the kitchen, hit the fan in the corner, and pieces of dough went everywhere.
Oh, no!
Cried Luigi.
Now we'll never make the pizza in time. Even if I could make the base, we'll never be able to chop up all the pizza toppings.
A fan? some pizza toppings. I think I may have an idea. We can use the fan to quickly chop all the ingredients.
It's worth a try.
Luigi rolled out a new pizza base in double quick time. Olive picked up the ingredients they needed for the topping. She juggled with the tomatoes first, then threw them towards the fan. The fan whizzed and slices of tomato flew through the air towards Luigi, who caught some on his pizza, although a few ended up stuck to the walls, the floor and the ceiling. Next, Olive and Luigi did the same with a sausage. And finally, a banana. Luigi caught them all perfectly and popped the finished pizza into the oven. It was nearly time for the judges to arrive. And the pizza was ready just in time. The judges all looked very excited to be eating Luigi's delicious pizza, and Olive was sure he would win the prize again. Olive carried the pizza over on a special silver plate. But just as she was about to serve the pizza, she slipped on a piece of tomato. She slipped over, sending the pizza sailing high up into the air. Olive skidded and bumped across the floor, finishing right in front of the judges. A moment later, the pizza landed right on her head. The judges did not look impressed. Olive had to think quickly.
Pizza is served, and it's called Olive Surprise.
For a moment, the judges looked very serious, but then they burst out laughing. They ate some slices of pizza and decided it was wonderful. Luigi was awarded a special prize for the most exciting pizza ever.
Thank you so much, Olive. You saved the day.
That's okay, Luigi. Maybe I can get a free pizza next time I come in.
Of course.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped Luigi make an Olive Surprise.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.